2 ride shares into space.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. And liftoff.
Falcon 9 is pitching downrange.
As you can see, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from the historic launch pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center,
telemetry,
carrying our stack of Starlink satellites and 2 ride shares into orbit. We throttle the engines down in preparation for max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. This is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees during
supersonic.
This is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees during ascent, so slowing the vehicle down helps during that short period.
Max Q.
All right, there we heard the call out that we reached max Q. In about a minute, we're going to have 3 events happening back to back. First will be main engine through. So there we can see that the engine...
Stage separation confirmed.
All right, so on the left-hand side of your screen, we got the first stage, and the second, on the right-hand side, the second stage, and there we heard call out MVAC ignition. We can see that nozzle begin to develop a lovely orange glow as Earth rotates in the background. And on the left-hand side, we got first stage deploying the grid fins in preparation for the drone ship landing. In just a few seconds, we're going to have fairing deploy. Love that view of MVAC. And there's our first view inside the payload fairing. There we have visual and call out there that fairing separation has occurred. As a reminder, we will be attempting to recover those fairing halves today with our recovery ship, Sheila Bordelon. And of course, we're going to be recovering.
The first stage re-entering into the Atlantic, and stage 2 as it continues on a nominal orbit.
Stage 1 landing burn has started.
At a start of stage 1. As a reminder, we may lose coverage of the vehicle as it attempts to land on the drone ship.
Landing legs have deployed.
Landing leg deployed.
Stage 2 FTS.
On the left-hand side of the screen, got a beautiful view of a successful landing. This marks our 84th successful recovery of an orbital-class rocket and the 6th recovery of this particular booster.
Tico.
And there we had second engine cutoff 1, or SECO 1.
Webcast for our 28th Starlink mission. Quick recap for those that have just joined us. We had an on-time liftoff at 6:56 p.m. Eastern Time from pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, a nominal stage 1 ascent, and a picture-perfect landing on our drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, I still love you. And stage 2 is in a nominal coast. We're currently waiting for the relight of our second stage, known as SES-2, and that'll be coming up in just under 10 seconds. This is going to be a quick burn of our MVAC engine, lasting roughly 5 seconds or so. We've got some nice ground track views there. Hopefully be able to bring you back that second stage footage momentarily. There, we got it now.
MVAC reignition. SECO 2.
All right, so there, as you saw, confirmation of both the relight and the cutoff of that second engine, just a few seconds, like I said, and we're waiting to hear breaking global events at night and through clouds, including the Ever Given's blockage of the Suez Canal and the recent volcanic eruption on St. Vincent. Once fully commissioned, each additional satellite provides Capella's government and commercial customers with more capacity and increasingly timely SAR data. Deployment of that synthetic aperture radar satellite will be coming up in about 23 seconds. There we have a great view of the Starlink satellites, which we will be deploying later on. And of course, beautiful planet Earth rotating below.
Spacecraft deploy confirmed.
All right, so there we heard the call out that we had successful deployment of that synthetic aperture radar satellite for Capella-6. Next up, we'll deploy the rideshare satellite for Tyvak, and that'll take place a few seconds after. All right, deployment of the Tyvak rideshare satellite coming up in just a couple seconds.
Forward spacecraft deploy confirmed.
All right, there we heard the call out that second rideshare.
Starlink deploy confirmed.
And we've confirmed deploy of the Starlink satellites. Now you can see the satellites, the Starlink satellites out in space drifting away from the second stage. As a reminder, this is just their drop-off orbit. Shortly, they will deploy their solar array, and over the next few days and weeks, they will distance themselves from each other and use their onboard ion thrusters to make their way into operational